This is One on One. There she is, Delia Ephron, who is the author of Sister, Mother, Husband, Dog. What, by the way, could you set up the title?
It's my major food groups.
Explain it.
Well, actually, the book started with Sister. I mean, my sister and Nora
Yes.
and I were very, 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 very close. And,
How close and why?
Well, I was 3 years younger, and from the day I was born, she bossed me around. My first memory is of her biting into a tomato in such a perfect way as to squirt juice in my eye. And our parents were screenwriters. And they really raised writers. They wanted to raise writers. And there were 4 daughters. And Nora knew she would be a writer from the day she was born, and I didn't. But
She had the gift?
yeah, it was, I think it's genetic because all 4 sisters became writers. But we became collaborators. We were not only very close as children, but then we collaborated on movies, and we wrote movies together that she directed. So
You Got Mail?
Yeah, Michael, This Is My Life. We did a lot of work together,
Right.
and our parents were screenwriters, so it was just really kind of weird and strange that we ended up collaborators. So I just never expected to be without her, and I was like living in a city with no street signs. And every day I would go into my office and I just started to write about our sisterhood and what it means to be a sister. I think, do you have sisters?
I have 2 sisters.
Oh, okay.
One
Well,
older, one younger.
sisters between them, I mean, a sisterhood is uncivilized. I mean,
Civilized.
oh, completely. There's just some way that you will treat a sibling that you would never dream of treating a friend. And in fact, as you get older, I think if you have sisters and you love them, you have great friends who are better versions of your sisters in some way that you get along with perfectly. But no, you're hard on them in a way that you never would be. And it's a very unique relationship. And it must be true, I think in all families, everybody's harder on each other than they are on their friends. And anyway, I tried to sort of get at what it was, what our sisterhood was about and what it meant to me to lose her. And well, we were sort of fused, I think. I mean, she used to say we shared half a brain. And that was why we could write together. And I didn't really make, and when we worked together, she was very tough. Did you ever have her on the show? Did you ever interview her? Okay. She knew the power of silence. You know, just nothing intimidates like silence. There isn't much of it on television, but nothing intimidates like silence. And I was, of course, the sister everyone could get along with. So people would just fall on me with all their complaints and that they didn't have the nerve to tell her. So we were kind of, the work was so, we were such a perfect match, the older sister and the middle sister, that it just, and then we shopped together and we ate together and it was just very close.
That started you writing this, but then you write about your mom.
I did write about my mom, my mother, who was rather remarkable. And my parents wrote, they wrote Daddy Longlegs, No Business Like Show Business, Death Set. They wrote some wonderful movies that you see on, Turner Classics. And when I was 11, this kind of amazing mother I had who really was the force in the family and the reason all her daughters became writers, became a terrible alcoholic. And I mean it. I think of it just happening when I was 11, that it turned. And when I wrote this book, one of the things I wanted to write about was, to my sister Nora, my mother said, she said, take notes. And to me, she said, I hope you never tell anyone what happens here.
Oh, boy. She didn't want you talking about this?
What?
Did she, do you think she did not want you talking about
I think
your
that
lives
alcoholics
together?
want you to keep the secret, and it's not your job as a child to keep the secret. It's their job to take care of you, not your job to take care of them. And when you get older, I think you may never get past it if you keep that secret.
Is there any part of you that feels that you broke some sort of unwritten code?
Oh, I certainly did, in the sense that she did not want to be known in this way, yes.
But you felt you needed to?
Yes, because what happens when you have anyone who has addiction in their family in any way, parents, you, especially if you're a child, you become a watcher. You always look to see what's going to happen, and maybe you have a move to make it not happen, which is, in my family, I think of it as a day mother and a night mother, because at night she was so terrifying to me and raging, angry, and in the day, this elegant, wonderful woman. And I really feel that no siblings have the same parent, that you're born into a family at a different time and your parents relate differently.
True. It's so true. People don't like to say that, but it's true.
No, it is. And I was telling my story. Yeah. And I think,
we treat everyone the same. That's BS.
I think they want to in their dreams, but they, and it's a noble want, but it isn't happening.
It's
I wanted to get it all out when I wrote the book.
How cathartic for you?
It was, actually. I even wrote about how I blew my 20s completely, which I know you have no sympathy for, because I think weren't you like this totally pulled together person in your 20s?
Get out of here.
Oh, I thought you were. I read a little bit about you, and I thought, he doesn't know.
I did some things that, well, whatever.
Yes.
So here's the thing. Google is overrated.
Yeah.
So when you say, so you're involved in stuff that you wish you hadn't, but it sounds corny, but doesn't that make you how great you are today?
No, what happened was I didn't have the nerve to be a writer. And when I was 10, I saw a movie called 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. I don't know.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like...
Short version, go ahead.
The short version is that I wanted to grow up as a result and marry a wild man and move to the backwoods and make flapjacks. That's the short version, okay?
And you took away what? What message?
That, exactly. And there's my mother saying, have a career, be a writer. And all I do is get married and move, not to the backwoods, but Rhode Island. And I don't know what I was doing there, and this happens in your 20s. And once I started writing about Nora, I just started writing about how a movie can change your life. A movie that you see when you're young, it gets into your heart and your head in a way that nothing else does.
Wow. The name of the book is Sister, Mother, Husband, Dog by Delia Ephron. And I don't like when people say this, what's the message of the book? Read it and take whatever message you choose to take away from it, like you took a powerful message away from that movie. And Delia, I want to thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Okay?
Yes.
You live right in the neighborhood, don't you?
Downtown.
See?
Yeah.
The same thing. Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this from the Tisch WNET studio. Thank you.
One on One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System. This special edition of One on One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Barnabas Health, St. Peter's University, United Water, Qualcare Inc., New Jersey's Credit Unions, Johnson & Johnson, and by the law firm of Gibbons PC. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.